It's not uncommon that your narrative will evoke different emotions from your prospect or whoever is viewing your winning ad. Majority of video editors will go and source a single audio and then try and make this apply to the entirety of their narrative. I use a completely different strategy, which I believe is more crucial when piecing together your winning ad formula. And what I have essentially done is, over a period of time, created a database based on the wheel of emotion. This wheel of emotion has multiple emotions on an RGB scale. In order for you to find a wheel of emotion, it's as simple as going onto Google Images and typing wheel of emotion. From there, you can select one to start building your music library or your music database. Now, what I tend to do is find multiple music clips and store them away in files which relate to each one of the emotions on this wheel. So for example, within the narrative that I've currently got, there's a sense of triumph. And what I've done is basically selected the music from that particular folder and I've chopped and played around with it until I found what I believe suits the narrative. So we can go ahead and press play on the very first part of the narrative, which is almost like a sense of triumph, a sense of being in the hook.
You're the most Googled man on earth. I know how to elevate Tate to a household name and celebrity levels that rival that of world leaders. Simply put, this will make you the most Googled man in the multiverse. Trump went from superstar to megastar to world leader.
So as you can see, I've now transitioned into a different music clip. This is because the narrative has moved from a sense of triumph to more of a curiosity building narrative. Therefore, I now have gone back into my music library, which is arranged according to the wheel of emotion, gone to curiosity folder, and all the multiple songs I have stored in there, I've dragged and played around with them until I found something that I believe matches the curiosity building in this narrative. And then from there, I've just layered it and played around until I get to a different emotion within the narrative.
But he didn't do that by building more skyscrapers in New York. Like you said before, nothing good happens by accident. This is no different. You're now a superstar. It's time to make the jump to megastar level. And once we get there, you can decide if you want to be a world leader. We just need to add the one thing that is missing right now: a carefully creative narrative.
And as you can see within my timeline, I layer parts of the track. So I never actually use just the beginning of a track or the end of a track. What I tend to do is play around with different parts of the track and layer it up so it suits the narrative. And then from here, I know the narrative moves into this intensity building emotion, whereby I'm starting to move towards the social proof and the CTA, or the climax of the narrative. Therefore, the music that I've selected or the emotion that I've selected on the wheel of emotion is highly related to a feeling of build up, a feeling of intensity, which suits the narrative perfectly.
A steady flow of content built around a specific character arc and image. There are 3 steps to do this, but the first step to pull this off is having a behind the scenes video and content strategist that puts together a riveting and widely interesting Tate weekly episode.
So you can see from here, this is me now revealing the answer to the pain point or the problem. And as I draw my narrative towards this big reveal, the music is also playing into that perfectly. It's also worth noting on the timeline, there's 3 sudden strokes within this music that I've selected. So I've gone ahead and just created a couple of gaps within my narrative to fit perfectly on beat.
Just like Trump did with The Apprentice, but with way less time expenditure necessary on your end. A media Wizard of Oz, a content czar, would be in charge of piecing together all of your content to turn it into something that will hook and enchant a mass audience and elevate the brand to a household name. Someone competent, capable, proven and trustworthy. Not easy to find that combo, but luckily I happen to know just the guy. Yours truly.
And then it draws off to a perfect end. So what I want you to do is, with the narrative that you have recorded, use the wheel of emotion as a sense of logic, but your aim of today is to add tempo and emotion to your narrative through music selection. If you do struggle with this task, I highly recommend using the wheel of emotion.